Welcome to New England Ford Patriots Game Day. Brought to you by the New England Ford dealers, home of the best-selling cars and trucks in New England.
You're looking live at Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today it's a home field of the New York Jets as they take on the Patriots at 4:15 right here on CBS 4. This has become a real Boston-New York rivalry, although it seems to be more about coaches and players jumping from one team to the other than what actually happens on the field. The Pats have won 6 straight and 8 of the last 9 between these two teams. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us for New England Ford Patriots Game Day. Both the Pats and the Jets won their season openers last week, but there is definitely room for improvement. And the return of Teddy Bruschi no doubt would elevate the Patriots defense. He's a game-time decision today. Bruschi came back to practice over a week ago, but did not dress for last week's opener against the Bills. He talked to the media Friday for the first time since breaking his wrist almost 7 weeks ago. And he didn't rule out the possibility of playing today.
The practices have gone all right. You know, they've gone okay. Of course, you know, I've got some padding on, and as you guys have seen, I've had a cast on, and you know, it takes some getting used to. You know, but it's something that I just have to do because that's what you do when you come back from an injury. Initially, there's going to be some adjustment you're going to have to deal with. But you know, we'll see how it is Sunday, and then coaches and trainers will make a decision.
Well, getting Bruschi back would be a big boost for this team. They could use his inspiration after last Sunday's performance. And after cruising through the preseason, the Patriots got a big scare from the Buffalo Bills. It was a wake-up call, and Alice Cook says the team got the message loud and clear.
What's your prediction for the fight, then?
Prediction?
Yes, prediction.
Pain.
Brady on first down, back to throw. Here's a blitz. The ball is knocked out of his hands, rolling toward the sideline, and it is picked up by the Buffalo Bills and run in for a touchdown. Well, a stunning start to the season for the Patriots, and certainly I hope that doesn't portend what kind of a year we're going to have.
But I pity the fool.
Tom Brady and the Patriots felt the pain last week. A sack and a fumble is no way to start the new season. Fortunately for the Patriots, the day would end with a W.
And you better get that bad look off your face before I knock it off.
I've got to play better, and I've got to make better reads and better decisions and throw the ball more accurately, and I think it'll show up a lot better if I do those things than it did last week.
On Monday, Deion Branch was traded to Seattle. By Wednesday, Brady admitted the holdout became a distraction and took its toll on the field.
I'm a very emotional person, and over, you know, the last 4 or 5 months, it's been draining. Look, at the end of the week, it really wasted a lot of my time and a lot of my energy. And it was a big mental drain, and I think it affected the way I played. I just didn't feel like I brought as much to the table as I normally could.
It was not a great day for Brady, who finished the game with 163 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. It was the running game that paced the offense. Corey Dillon and Lawrence Maroney provided the 1-2 punch.
He ain't gonna get you, he gonna kill you.
I think we work good together. You know, he do some, I do some. We both feed off each other's energy and both get the job done.
This week, it's the Jets, who are coming off a convincing win in Tennessee, highlighted by quarterback Chad Pennington, who earned AFC Offensive Player of the Week honors.
It was definitely a good welcome back. You know, when a guy goes down with a shoulder injury, you know, not once but twice, and he's a quarterback, you don't really expect that. And, you know, you got to tip your hat off to what he did last week.
Last year, Pennington went down in Week 3, and the Jets finished 4-12.
Don't trade with this guy. You take your time, wear him down, but don't stand toe-to-toe. This punk's never been 15 rounds before. Take him good.
I think the past for us doesn't really matter. If the past mattered, we wouldn't have been able to pull out that win last week on the road.
The battle everyone has been hyping this week is taking place on the sidelines. 35-year-old Eric Mangini, the Patriots' former defensive coordinator, will go head-to-head with his mentor, Bill Belichick.
I've always admired the way that, as smart as he is, he couples that with a tremendous work ethic. And regardless of the success that they've had, it's been a consistent approach week in and week out, and that's he was a great person to learn from.
You got to put him away early.
Mangini may have learned plenty from Belichick, but the Pats coach won't be rooting for anyone but the men in blue.
I don't sit around the league cheering for everybody else. I cheer for the Patriots. That's my team. So I want to see us do well, and I want to do everything I can to help us do well. And that's really where my focus is.
The Patriots have a 6-game win streak against the Jets, and a win this week puts them on top of the division, a place they'd like to stay as long as they can.
Winning is everything in this league. So whenever you can grab a win with a divisional game, it's definitely important.
Dead meat.
For Patriots Game Day, I'm Alice Cook.
All right, Alice, Game Day editor Jim Murphy just doing another stellar job. The injury report for the guys that are out: Nick Kaiser, Artrell Hawkins, Garrett Mills, Teddy Bruschi, we talked about him, questionable. Chad Jackson, questionable. Wide receiver Doug Gabriel, probable, and Rodney Harrison, probable as well. And joining us now back in our Boston studios, Michael Felger, the Boston Herald and ESPN Radio. And let's talk about teacher versus student. Belichick versus Mangini. Michael?
Yeah, I think this has just been sort of strange this week. The fact that I guess the tensions have really come out, and we could really tell it. Bill Belichick barely mentioned the words Eric Mangini. They didn't really even leave his lips this week. And you talk to people on both sides, there are some frayed nerves, and I think it's ridiculous on both sides. For Belichick or anyone in New England to begrudge Eric Mangini the chance to go and become a head coach, better his family, take the next step in his career, to me is just weak. And on the other side, you hear things about Eric Mangini complaining about the fact that he was locked out of the office after he accepted that offer last year, and there's still some personal belongings back in his office. Well, you know, Steve, if you and I get fired from our job, believe me, our employers aren't saying, go ahead, keep the key, come and go when you want. That's just not the way the real world works. So, you know, let's cut all the whining on both sides. Just interesting to see if there's just a little more juice to the way each guy coaches this game. You mentioned there in that reporter, Alice Cook did, before you went to the Alice Cook report about Teddy Bruschi, interested to see if he does play this week. He felt he was playing last week, and then last minute, they kept him out of the game. Now, this is a guy who came back the first possible second from a stroke. He's dying to get back out there. Is that in the best interest of the team? I mean, I don't know. He's got to play with a heavy cast around that. You hear that's a delicate bone that he broke, so I'm curious to see if this week they let him play this game. I don't know if they do. We'll have to see. Game time decision. To me, the last interesting thing in this game is the kicking situation. The Patriots go into this game with the rookie, Steven Gostkowski, and this kid hasn't missed a kick. Well, you go to the New York Jets side, and Mike Nugent was a high draft pick a couple of years ago. He comes off a game last week in Tennessee where he misses 2 kicks less than 35 yards and an extra point. They bring in a bunch of veterans this week to sort of push him. Nugent keeps the job, but maybe it comes down to a kick today. You almost have to say you like the rookie. One last thing really quick. You did that Tom Brady bite from earlier in the week talking about how distracted he was late last week. Well, interestingly, there was a report in New York today that there was an unnamed Patriots player who called Deion Branch late last week and told him the Patriots would be willing to meet his price if he fired his agents. Obviously, Deion Branch didn't do that, and he went on to be traded to Seattle. But you have to wonder if Tom Brady was a guy who was asked to make that call. He's been talking to Deion Branch back and forth through this whole process. They're very close. You don't know exactly what player it is, but if it was Tom, you'd have to say, well, that maybe explains some of the distractions that he had late last week, Steve.
All right, Michael, great stuff. We'll see if Brady is focused this afternoon. It's a beautiful day here in New Jersey, but it feels more like beach weather than football weather. Let's go back to Melissa Bell in the weather studios for our game day forecast. Melissa.
All right, Steve, it's definitely going to feel like summer for this football game. Mostly sunny conditions this afternoon. Now, the temperatures are going to be on the warm side, up to about 80 degrees at kickoff time. It's also a little more humid down there. The winds are out of the southeast, 10 miles an hour. Looks like temperatures will only fall back into the mid to upper 70s through the game. So overall, yeah, a little summery. That's the latest, Steve. Back to you.
All right, Melissa, well, there's a lot more ahead here on New England Ford Patriots Game Day. Oh, my God. That light gives a whole new meaning to the idea of celebrity shootout. And just what impact will the coaching matchup have on today's game? We'll hear from one of the players. Scott Zolak and Steve Diassi join me from Boston. When we return, Game Day is live at Giant Stadium. We're coming right back.
The Patriots Injury Report is brought to you by Tufts Health Plan. No one does more to keep you healthy.
Yes, on New England Ford Patriots game day, receive a gift certificate to Milton's, the store for men. At Milton's, you'll be as comfortable in their stores as you will be in their clothes.
Welcome back to New England Ford Patriots Game Day. Brought to you by the New England Ford dealers, home of the best-selling cars and trucks in New England.
Just 2 games in the AFC East today, and we got them both for you right here on CBS 4. The Bills are at the Dolphins at 1 o'clock. The Pats and Jets kick off at 4:15.
I think we're focusing on too much on, okay, Mangini, we just got to go out and play. I mean, Mangini's not playing the game. I mean, they didn't take the whole team here and move them to the Jets, and the Jets didn't take their whole team and move them here. I mean, okay, if he knows the call, he knows the call. It doesn't matter. You got to go out there and play. If I'm in the position to make the play, hopefully I'll make the play. If I'm not in position to not make the play, then I should have been in position to make the play. So he can yell all he wants to from the sideline. Bill can yell all he wants to from the sideline. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, or if Tom doesn't do what he's supposed to, or Matt doesn't understand what he's supposed to do on a given play, it doesn't really matter.
Roosevelt Colvin joining me now back in our Game Day studios. Scott Zolak and Steve Diassi. And I want to talk about the Mangini factor. As players, guys, how big of a deal is it?
It always seems to get blown up by the media more than it is on the field. Most of the guys on the field don't worry about it too much. That's stuff that we talk about in the media or on sports radio or in the newspapers. Once they get out to practice, once they get on the field, on Sunday especially, it's not even a factor.
Go back to the Tuna Bowls, Tuna versus Pete Carroll, and then all of a sudden when Tuna was here, and then Belichick and Al Groh back and forth. Look at the 2 cities, New York and Boston. We love to draw things up. We love to drum things up, the drama of it all. It's the story. It's the headlines. Bill Belichick needs to worry about getting Teddy Bruschi on the field, Chad Jackson, and Eric Mangini needs to make sure that Chad Pennington doesn't turn the football over.
All right, Scott, let's start with you. Your key.
Well, the big one, you look at the way this game shaped up last week, you got to protect Tom Brady. That's foremost number one. First play of the game, Dan Copen, whether he missed the slide protection to the left or whether Corey Dillon missed the check protection, they need to protect Tom. He's dealing with some knee problems. He's dealing with some shoulder problems. It takes him forever to get to the post-game press conference. The New York Jets, if anything's good for their defense, it's the guys that they have up front, the front 7. So if they're able to shut down the running game, that means the Patriots are going to have to take some shots down the field, and you do that by protecting Tom Brady, foremost number one.
You got to protect Brady. Steve Diassi, your key.
Well, anytime you're playing against Chad Pennington, you have to have a lot of patience. This guy can wear you out simply because he doesn't look like he's doing a lot. It doesn't look like he's throwing the ball very hard. It doesn't look like he's running around very well. It doesn't look like he's doing a lot, and it gets very, very frustrating, especially if you're a linebacker or a defensive back where you think you're in position and you see a weak ball come fluttering just over your head, out of your reach just barely, right in front of the safety for a completion. And Pennington is the best at it with not a lot of arm strength, but he's got some of the best touch passes in the NFL. But if you stay after him and if you get pressure on him, you put him in a position where he has to make a throw that requires a little arm strength or make a throw that requires a little bit more touch than he's capable of doing, then you're going to get in his face, and then you're going to cause him to throw some interceptions. But you have to be patient. You cannot get frustrated with Chad Pennington. It'll kill you if you do.
Guys, let's talk about the big story all week. How much of the Patriots missed Deion Branch?
The shocking thing to me was Tom Brady and how much this affected him last week. This is a guy who talked all through camp that, yeah, I talked to Deion here and there, but, this thing's going to get done. You got to wonder, did they bring Tom at some point in during last week and said, Tom, we got a deal that we can't refuse. We don't know when this thing's going to go down. It could go down before the game or after it. And it just shocks. It's shocking that a guy like Montana would be called in. Talk about guys like Jerry Rice. And Brady's won 3 Super Bowls. He lost his number 2 receiver in David Givens, and now his number 1 guy, Deion Branch, is gone. It's going to take its toll throughout the course of the season. Need to get Chad Jackson back on this field. That's the big thing.
The problem I see with this is that too many guys worry about it, and when the push comes to shove, it is a business proposition. It is not guys out here trying to be buddies and pals and running around trying to win championships. The fact is, it is a business no matter how you look at it, and Mike Vrabel had the best answer to it. It doesn't matter to us on Monday because we still got to go out and practice, and it definitely won't matter to us on Sunday because we got to find a way to win the games with or without Deion Branch. Again, in the media, we like to play up the soap opera aspects of all this, but when push comes to shove, the Patriots, Bill Belichick, Scott Pioli are going to do what's best for the New England Patriots. And in this situation, once they realized that Deion Branch was going to stay out for the whole year, for at least 10 games, they knew that they had to get something out of him.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Great job. Up next on Patriots Game Day, how the Pats spent their off day. Cool. Patriots Game Day is coming right back. Stay with us.
The keys to the game are brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'.
What's on Tap is brought to you by Heineken. Heineken, it's all about the beer. Visit enjoyheinekenresponsibly.com.
Here's what's on tap. The NFL today is up next, followed by the Bills and Dolphins at 1 o'clock. The Pats and Jets kick off at 4:15. Then we're back on TV 38 for the New England Forward fifth quarter postgame show right after the game. And we'll wrap it all up tonight at 11:30 on Sports Final. Welcome back to Game Day. We're live at Giants Stadium where the Pats and Jets are set to meet later this afternoon. You know, when you only get one day off, you have to make the most of it. Well, this week a group of Patriots spent their off day participating in a celebrity shootout. Now, when you hear the term shootout, you may think basketball, golf perhaps. Well, think again.
All right, we're getting ready to take off here, and we're going to shoot. Fire in the hole!
How do you feel today, Copen?
I feel great. It's a great day. We're out here to shoot some clay pigeons.
Yeah.
And see the celebrities like yourself.
Shoot some birds.
What did the Patriots do on their off day? They took a little target practice.
Bolt.
Taking their frustrations out on clay. Welcome to the second annual Matt Light Celebrity Shootout in Mapleville, Rhode Island. All to raise money for the Matt Light Foundation to benefit the youth of America.
I was a little nervous of that because I'm off my game a little bit. I'm not completely focused on this.
For the guys to come out and support him. And, we've got a great day out here and hopefully raise a lot of money.
You know, it's great for us to all be able to give back to him, you know, since we know how much he puts into this.
Hey, man, we're getting deeper into these woods, man. It's 3:20. It's that sun about to start going down in a couple hours, man. We need to get out of here before them bears come out here, man. I ain't trying to be out here with these wolves and bears and stuff. Get out here, get in this cart, and let's go.
You're not afraid of a few bears, are you?
Man, a bear is a bear.
But you got a gun.
A gun? I don't know. Obviously, if you seen my shooting.
Sir, drop the weapon.
Can't hit the side of a house right now. Shoot. The best thing I got going is my feet.
He's afraid of a few bears. He said he's getting deeper and deeper into the woods.
Oh, we not getting deeper and deeper into the woods right now.
We got guns, Ellis.
Once again, have you seen my shooting?
Pull. The pellets spread like 2 feet. So that means if you come within 2 feet, you're hitting the thing. So he's missing it by at least 4.
I'm going at least 4 or 5, man. A whole human being. I'm missing it by a human being, so.
Well, the bottom line is, are you having fun?
Yeah, man, I'm having a great time.
As for food, they were never running out. There was plenty to go around.
Eat this glorious hog.
It's amazing.
It's lineman food. That's
It's-
what it is. If you want to grow
it's
up and be a
amazing.
lineman, you eat this.
And does that, how'd you get the red hair?
I don't know. From that thing? I don't know.
You're God blessed. Hey, well, happy birthday to you,
some
my
people-
friend. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And well, back to you.
There were awesome prizes for the best marksmen. These, however, were off limits.
You don't have one?
I don't have one, no.
You'd look good on one, though.
Show me the seat. Look what you're sitting on. You
I know,
actually.
it's football. I feel like snapping it. It's where the football normally is. It's down there between my legs, so nothing new.
Well, charity's big in Matt Light's heart. He just likes to have fun doing it. Last year, he donated $25,000 to Children's Hospital for the research of prenatal heart conditions, an area that's close to Matt's own heart. It affected his own son.
He had a rare heart condition that was going to be something that had to be addressed the minute he was born. And what was amazing about that whole story, he ended up having 2 major heart defects. Both of them were repaired by Dr. Del Nido at Children's Hospital. And the really interesting part of the whole story is that ever since we came here, we've always gone to Children's Hospital for their big telethon during the Christmas season, and we've always gone to the 6th floor. I believe it's 6th floor, but we've always gone to the cardiac unit. And then for us to have the need to utilize those doctors and that floor and those nurses and for the care that he received, I mean, it's just remarkable. I mean, things happen for a reason, and I would never want anyone to go through something that severe with their child, or to have to spend time in a hospital is always tough. But if you're going to have to choose a hospital, there's no better care. I mean, I couldn't have gone anywhere in the world and received the care that we received right here in Boston.
Well, Matt Light's son, Colin, is doing great and has even started walking. Last year's shootout raised over $100,000. We have to take a quick timeout. Stay with us. Patriots Game Day will be right back at you.
Welcome back to New England Ford Patriots Game Day. Brought to you by the New England Ford dealers, home of the best-selling cars and trucks in New England.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at the Meadowlands. Thanks for being with us this morning. Don't forget, we'll be back on TV 38 right after the ball game for the 5th quarter post-game show. We'll bring you both Tom Brady and Bill Belichick's press conferences live. The NFL Today is up next. Pats and Jets kick off at 4:15. Enjoy the game, everyone.
Thank you for watching New